the biggest aspect of the 32-second shot clock is face-off athletes now are accustomed to staying on the field. They have to be part of that offense. They're thinking quick trigger.
Both of these face-off athletes back at it again. First face-off won by the Redwoods. This time Atlas win it, and we'll get a chance to see them offensively. And Chris Gray getting a word with him. Redwoods forged this 1-goal lead. Got 4 saves from Jack Kelly, too, so he's off to a great start and goal for the Woods. And here's a battle you just don't see very much of this anymore, even at this level. Two of the best face-off men in the world, Baptiste, Erlin. Possession won by Baptiste and the Atlas, but Kelly is fit.
The near future.
Yeah,
exactly.
For those of you who watched the college semifinal last Saturday, game ended in controversial fashion involving a crease violation or one that wasn't called. That's water under the bridge, though. Here we've got a 3-1 game. Redwoods on top. Still first quarter from Albany. Peter Dirth picks up the big ground ball. Gets it back to his goalie, Jack Cannon.
In the University of Virginia history, scored more goals in a single season than Xander Dixon did in 2023.
And Jeff Teat coming off a year in which he tied with Kieran McCardle, the Waterdogs, for the scoring lead in the league in terms of points per game. Picking up his first of the year, assisting on that goal. Another chance here for the Atlas. Dirth can score. Presser referred to him as not just a short in the first quarter for Ryder Garnsey.
I mean, that's vintage Garnsey right there.
Man, is he living the life right now?
I've always said it. He has maybe one of the best YouTube highlights I've ever seen. You turn on YouTube, Google Ryder Garnsey, you see his high school highlights. Some of the most ridiculous plays you've ever seen.
How about his pro highlights? Redwoods offensively to all of last year. Perkovic would have tried to have a secondary dodge there or roll back or throw back. No, push it to head to Pinnell and let him make the decisions. Let one of the best quarterbacks of all time do his thing. 2 assists already in the first half.
Baptiste keeps it, looking for someone to pass it to, finds Jeff Teat. Good option, number 7.
See, Baptiste has to stay on now with the new 32-second shot.
And I love how Teat, once he got that short stick on him, he was patient. He was disciplined. He knows the entire defense is going to be focused in on him. Surveyed until Law popped free.
Erlin won the clamp but can't get the ground ball. That goes to the Atlas, so now down 2.
Watch how many minutes Baptiste will log, right? He gets into a rhythm, muscle memory thing from a lefty finisher, right? You catch, you shoot in one motion.
Say Nakai Montgomery on wings, and in transition, a major upgrade for this Redwoods team this year. Second-year pro, kind of, throwing his ego out in terms of,
That makes me smile. I love seeing creativity like that because I mentioned off the top, these players are inspiring a new generation. Like, push the envelope as far as you can.
That shot goes back in time. Stan Cockerton, NC State, back in the 70s, a Canadian popularized by Gary Gate. Now we're seeing more and more of it during the summer today. Thank you, Coach.
Well, Isaiah Davis-Allen taking his second draw of this first half. And it's won easily that time by Baptiste, and possession to Atlas. So again, you got to wonder whether this is Erlin's banged up a little bit, or whether it's a case where Nat St. Laurent is giving him a little bit of a break every now and then.
Spaces and with bodies surrounding him, he's just so patient. It looks like he's playing the game at a different speed.
And a left-handed Canadian, so his right hand is his dominant hand. He catches that with his right dominant hand, and he comes back to his left, which he's dominated and is masterful in terms of shooting.
Hold on. First possession from the face-off. It's got to be a short one. This is a short one.
So just
short clock. First possession off of a face. We had no possession. Short clock. Short clock.
Short clock meaning 32 and not 52. 32 off of a face-off possession.
Yep.
And you don't have your balance. You don't have your core. When you're that big, you're that strong, the push actually gets the defender away from you because of how strong you are. Like, he can't match that ultra balance in terms of defending.
Speaking of strength and balance, ooh, big collision by Erlin. After that face-off win, Costa Beal lost his cross, got it back. Here comes Baptiste. Will he take a shot? He does. Bounces it well wide.
He had a 2 last season, so he's more than capable from that range.
That was a
This game has been a 1-goal game at 7 different times during this game. It has been very close ever since the Atlas went on that 3-goal stretch to tie it at 6 apiece in the first half. They haven't been able to get up over the Woods, but they've been keeping it right here, a 1-goal game. This has been a great battle all day long, and it continues.
It's literally just in between our hands right now.
Here, Baptiste. Talk about a grind.
Elbow.
He's looking for help from the officials. The officials aren't going to give him an elbow on this, though.
Yeah. You got a box out there. You got a box out there.
That's great audio of the intensity of a scrum on a face-off between these two athletes.
And a great pickup there by Maycock.
Battle between Trevor Baptiste and T.D. Erlin, as he mentioned, teammates with Team USA. As good as it gets when it comes to facing off in this game. And let's listen in. Baptiste wins it.
She's down the alley. He has so much time. He doesn't need to change his hands, and the space was there. To me, offensively for the Redwoods, Jules Henningberg is the chameleon. He could play attack. He could play midfield. He was an attackman in college. He's been primarily a midfielder in the pro ranks, but you just see the comfort level everywhere in the offensive set.
And buying into his role here with the Woods. He's put on 10 pounds of muscle in the offseason, according to Nat St. Laurent. Really happy with his game and the role he's filling there right now with the Woods, and he's given them once again this 2-goal.
Thrilled about him being back with the Redwoods is the new offensive coordinator, John Grant Jr., who has a ton of Canadian lacrosse background, one of the greatest of all time. A guy like Wes Berg fits into his system.
Face-off violation from TD.
As you mentioned, where's Berg from?
British Columbia.
Early on in this game, this one I thought was closer. Like, the foot was very, very close there.
Largest lead of the afternoon for the Woods, now up 4. And this is when Baptiste is going to have to win every single draw to get this team back in it here halfway through this 4th quarter. Dominate that face-off stripe.
And this is a critical 3-minute stretch here. If you're Redwoods and you can extend this lead, you can pretty much put the game away. You know, Atlas need to get this down to a 1-possession margin down the home stretch.
You saw Kennedy pressing out on Baptiste, so already now.
The Carolina blue in the white jerseys, Whipsnakes.
Ow.
And Baptiste, the reigning MVP, controls the opening faceoff. Normally you have 52 seconds.
This game goes back centuries in this country, the origins of lacrosse with the Native Americans.
It was an indigenous game.
Oh.
The indigenous people believed it was a gift from the creator. In lacrosse, you often hear the term.
They know, they're the first guy that knows, and he wants to make a difference this week in his energy level.
Rambo, 2-time PLL scoring champion. Here's Baptiste.
Exquisitely talented young baseball player. Romar could steal bases, he could hit home runs. Baseball bored him to death, and he wanted to play lacrosse. Roberto is his biggest fan, and Romar's making a name for himself in this sport.
Baptiste trying to chase this one down, and Teat able to save the possession.
The book on Kincannon continues to be shoot from the outside. He's a big, really athletic goalie, instinctual and reactive from the inside. Has maybe more vulnerability from the outside. I think Dordovic just caught a break.
Yeah, it actually hit Makar's stick. I was reviewing it over here on the side. Hit Makar's stick, then hit the turf.
Now Costa Beal falling down. Eric Law has the backup. Costa Beal a little slow to get
Super
up.
quick with his feet, and that leads to that shot on the run.
He was a finalist in his final season in college for the Tewaaraton Award. Had 65 goals, tied for first in Division I. From Portland, Oregon, originally. Oregon turning into a lacrosse hotbed. Chance here for Chet Camizio, 57 in blue. Let's listen to Trevor Baptiste.
That was a vicious hook, wasn't it?
Yeah, LaSala took a big hit there from Dennis. Squires, another Oregon native, West Lynn, Oregon.
Suddenly Dordovic's playing like the rookie of the year.
No doubt, you took the words out of my mouth.
And a really good class, a stacked class.
He was my dark horse pick. I mean, number 6 pick overall, so I don't know how much of a dark horse you get.
He certainly is one of the best to ever do it. 30-plus career goals.
Squats like 625 pounds or something insane.
Here comes Baptiste, MVP of the league a season ago. Now Jeff Teat, former PLL Rookie of the Year. Along with Jamie Trimboli for years. At Syracuse, Curry was dubbed the Hangry Chef. Had a little bagel shop he operated out of his apartment. Saw him before the game. I said, "You still do bagels?" He said, "No, I'm in New York City now. Apartment's too small."
That's a field to operate, and so he's got a two-way go there. His right hand is his strong hand. I think he pushed it, took it away, and he shows you his versatility.
Face-off won by Atlas.
When they had it, they didn't take care of it. 6 turnovers in that quarter alone.
Jack Kincannon with 5 saves for the Atlas, and if you listen to that Tucker Durkin piece, when they get to an island, flush it out, meaning they've sent the double team quicker in that third quarter.
Baptiste punched it out and able to go back and recover it. Now here comes Baptiste. Charges toward the middle, fires on the run, and Law has
He's in
the
good position. His sticks in the numbers. Just an amazing shot by Rambo.
First goal of the second half for Whipsnakes. It ends a drought of more than 16 minutes. And how about this battle?
Go this way. Go this way. That way. Yep.
Where should I go, Trev?
That's you.
Baptiste, the savvy vet, punches it out to Camizio, who may have just broken the B button. Out of the wrath, it's Peter Dirth. We remind you, Heat and Nuggets back in Denver. LaSala 9 out of 22.
Early, fucking early.
Whipsnakes don't have any timeouts. It's still loose, under 10 seconds. And we get a whistle, loose ball push, Atlas ball.
And Baptiste is slow to get up, and yet I think it was Petey LaSala that pushed from behind.
7%, but this is a different monster. Atlas in blue with Baptiste wins the opening face-off. We're underway. Waterdogs set to defend in white. Dylan Ward typically saves that, but one of the big questions today is the lack of midfield depth as Trevor Baptiste gets it going. Baptiste looking for a scoop and score off the face-off. Nice save by Ward. Yeah, now they get a fresh 30 panic. It's catch, breathe, finish.
I feel like he's scored more goals on the crease than anybody.
Yeah, and now you bring in Xander Dixon too, so you have the combination of 2 guys who could really play inside off of Chris Gray and Jeff Teat. There's some long-range danger in this point. Different level, he shot low. That second time he goes high.
He's dynamic, Park. He's an improv guy, which to me speaks and screams backyard lacrosse.
Yeah, Chris Gray could do it with his right, his left. His hands are so soft. Durkin and the boys are holding it down. But Durkin was a multi-time first-team All-American over a decade in the pros as a all-star. But what separates him is he's like a coach on the field. You heard the language, right? You heard the way that he directs everyone, and his command is amazing.
Here's Baptiste. Good look. He's capable of finishing that from here. So homecoming for Logan. That goal makes it 6-0 Atlas. Baptiste wins another faceoff. That's now 5 in a row for Trevor Baptiste. Let's make it take it right now for Atlas. And just as I say that, they go and turn the ball over.
I'm going to think about with Zach Currier. That jump shot when he's losing his angle and he leaves his feet.
I'm trying to think of your signature move.
Great. 3 goals on 4 shots. How good of a shooter is he? Well, he was 1 for 10 last week. Great shooters find their rhythm. They just need time, but they never second guess themselves.
At the faceoff X, he's won 8 of 10. And we have a new goalie for Waterdogs, Matt DeLuca, who played the first 2 weeks of this season while Dylan Ward wasn't available. Back in.
Then they're going inside to the paint.
And that's a great point, Dana, because when Zach Currier has the ball there, it's off of multiple passes, and the subtle little fake shot freezes the defense. It takes you a beat or two to kind of recalibrate. Xander Dixon gets stripped. He sees Jeff Teague getting the ball, and instantly, in the same thought process, he's a cutter. And then, oh, just a shovel shot finish, no big deal. It's the left pipe.
Baptiste again wins it to himself with ease.
Very rarely do you see a defensive stick disrupt the shot to the other pipe, too, because you're basically asking your body to flip to the other side on a change of level shot. Not a fast change of level shot, but a bouncer that goes high there. That's where he had his hands free because of Baptiste's pick.
Trevor Baptiste continues to dominate the faceoff X. Jeff Teague, his first goal to add 3 assists, and Atlas rolling. Brian Costa. That goalie switch to DeLuca coming in for Dylan Ward. Since that switch, going in to halftime, Waterdogs outscoring Atlas 3-1. So you're thinking if that can continue, and what does Atlas do? They come back 2 goals, 12 seconds. They're back up big.
And Baptiste.
He's won 15 of 16 sits.
Ouch.
This is what makes him the best to ever play the position. Never get tired of watching him either. Truly incredible what he has done with the face-off position.
Chick, get in. Like, Chick, you better get in. Right? Like, the way that he said that, like, he's not...
I need you.
He's not asking you, he's telling you, get in.
And that's the biggest difference in the Pro League. There's a change in vernacular. A lot of times.
Guy, I want to toot my horn. I'm very athletic, but these guys are a little bit more better than me. I'm gonna stick to football. I'm okay with the stick, but I ain't really like that good with the stick. But I think I'll do okay.
How about at the face-off?
Oh, the face-off I'll do all right.
They didn't plant and stop Currier. I mean, he can't expect to stop that shot. He's not mad at himself. He's mad at the defense for not closing in.
2 goals in 61 seconds for Waterdogs. Baptiste continues to dominate at the faceoff X. This is getting unfair. He has won 19 of 22.
Michael Sauer's doing his job, drawing 3 there. I'm doing the easy job there, trying to put it away.
Is that the emphasis from Copeland? Getting to the second layer of offense. How do you guys find the rhythm?
On the line.
Parker, are you surprised defensively they didn't pressure out on him and respect him as a 2-point shooter?
Yeah, but they're down a man, so the ball movement and the skip passing ability of the Atlas.
Now, can you find a way to stop Trevor Baptiste if you're Waterdog?
No, next question.
Really, there's nothing you can do?
Not when he wins it to himself. If he was the type of guy...
He's having fun. Big smile as always. He's won 15 face-offs in a row. 23 of 26 on the night. This is a special performance. This is a tough test. James Riley giving him everything he can handle, but Atlas wins the possession.
The location and the way he shot around the defense.
This is the closest the game has been since it was 2-0 all the way back in the first quarter.
A little bit of Charlie Hayes and a dose of Jeff Connor.
Paul, how are Waterdogs in this game? Baptiste has won 26 of 30 faceoffs.
Well, they're getting to Kincannon, and their shot location.
DeLuca makes a couple of saves, can't clear it, and instead of a tie game at 15, Atlas leads by 2 as we tick under 7 minutes left to this fourth quarter. Here's Trevor Baptiste, goes right to goal and scores! Trevor Baptiste showing why he was the MVP a year ago in this sport. Jack Cannon, Atlas goes down and scores 2 goals in 8 seconds. Trevor Baptiste and Atlas trying to close out a win. If you're just tuning in, Trevor Baptiste just won his 28th faceoff.
It's a borderline joke, right? It's body. And the location, Dennis has had 2 monster goals in the second half.
So Trevor Baptiste has a PLL record, 28 faceoff wins, but he's lost the last 2. Biggest one of the night here, and Baptiste wins it to himself. The physicality.
When Caraway started carrying, both defenders went with him. There was no communication.
Atlas have dominated the majority of this game. Got up 6-0. It looked over
him for the final shot.
Atlas needs a score in the final 10 seconds to keep this game alive. Baptiste battling for it. Clock under 5. Baptiste has to hurry. Baptiste throws it in. Waterdogs!
It's Chris Aslanian's second 2-pointer of the season. First one was also on the power play. Baptiste wins the faceoff. Plenty of time for Atlas. On the feed, Gray cans it. Oh, sting in the corner. Chris Greasy on the setup from
Baptiste just delivered.
And what we just saw is the power of an elite faceoff guy. 2 goals in 5 seconds. Baptiste wins another. Do they have enough time to add one more? Cannon's one of those old school sticks there. First 350 fans today and tomorrow get a wooden stick and a keychain designed by Tuscarora Nation.
First quarter into the second quarter from Coach Holman about we need more energy. We're a little slow on the offensive end. We're not moving. There's a lot of standing. That is a direct response to what Coach Holman said coming out of that timeout.
Where's energy come from? And it's, don't say the Diet Coke or the caffeine.
And they're sharing the rock, Q, which is a little bit different than games past. And it's sort of pick your poison if you're the Atlas defense. Who do you guard?
They're their best when they're getting high touches.
Always up. So he can make that feed. He started that ball movement there for the goal.
Donville's a very good player, having played at Cornell, then Maryland. Oakville.
Well, the sun's in his eyes. Give him a break.
The sun is definitely in your eyes, I can see from down here.
Absolutely. Killing me.
I got it in the first game, so I don't feel bad for y'all up there.
Forechecking or riding concepts. It's a wonderful crossover.
Picked up by Holman, 2-on-1. Holman takes it himself and scores. Woo!
He's moving up the list. I know Rob Pennell this weekend is close to eclipsing 2-point totals. I think 1 in assists and 1 in total points.
And Rob Pennell made some history in San Diego. Chris Gray with a low to high shot answered by.
Tough game for goaltenders.
And 2 goals for Kavanaugh to go with his 2 assists. Baptiste on the move. Atlas spin it around. Gray on the crease. 2 Cannons defenders in on him. Baptiste saw his brother Pat celebrating on the sideline. Cannons dominating possession and shots despite the fact that Baptiste has won 13 of 18. Cannon shooting 9 of 20 in this second quarter.
Pitchers that were left hung out to dry last night. Tell you, when Kincannon gave that one up on the inside pipe to Kavanaugh and pointed to himself, that might have been the cue for me as a coach that, well, tonight could be Drake Porter's night.
Baptiste wins the faceoff. And with 20 seconds to shoot, Baptiste will stay out on offense.
You know where you are on the field at this level. You have to. You have to know that the ball's coming to you, but you have to make a decision before you get to it. But when I talked to Coach Pressler coming out of the half, he said, besides the change in cage.
And Matt has really been more than a role model. He's been a father figure for his 3 younger brothers, all while being a super high achiever in the classroom and the lacrosse field.
He's got his 5th PLL goal as the Atlas turn it over off another faceoff win by Baptiste.
Ever playing for the majority of his career with the Denver Outlaws.
Good company for Marcus Holman with 300 career goals and 12 this year. Second
Save it. I think the guy in the perimeter, I mean, if a guy's going to take a shot like that on the run, running parallel to the arc, it's on your goaltender.
He might be the one. Baptiste flicks it back. Costabile fires. And the Cannons have a 4-goal
year where the Vikings train. They call this place their home. Great, energetic, young crowd here today.
Here we go. Watch this. Baptiste wins the faceoff.
Maybe opposing defensive coordinators have forgotten about him, but he is getting to the rack tonight.
It impresses me that he can create his own shot. And that's one of the biggest reasons why Coach Holman wanted him on the team, to breathe life.
Goals to go with 3 assists. It's another faceoff win for Baptiste, this time winning it forward. What can they do with it? It's been a theme of the 301 for his pro career. Just the 4th player ever to eclipse 300. Trevor Baptiste has now won 11 faceoffs in a row. But still, the Bulls getting dominated in a lot of possession categories, including shots. The Cannons have taken 45. Atlas have taken 27.
Dodge from up top, he can do it. You want to say attack from the wing, play off ball, play inside, play at X, behind the goal. He can do it. He's got a little bit of everything in his...
4 captains for this Atlas group, along with Richard, Durkin, and Baptiste. Logan feeds, Costabile shoots from just inside the arc, saved by Kirst.
Better strategy, they go with wing.
And the assist to Matt Kavanaugh there, so good to see him back on the field. He's up to 7 points. Baptiste rips it. No answers from the Atlas tonight. They get chaos.
It's been a pleasure in many. Met a fan from Vermont who flew here for these games.
Met a couple of young Sparkies who played
years ago. You saw him with that question mark shooting too early. Not that time.
Baptiste beats Rowlett that time.
Really well in the first stages of the first half. But just the 19 goals back-to-back weeks. It's a record in the PLL. That's a concern. And they drafted 2 guys, number 1 and 3.
1 and 3.
Gavin Adler, number 1. Brett Makar, number 3. And they've had nice. Rick was one of those guys early in his career, even when he was in high school at the Hill Academy. He was the next guy. Everyone knew what Jeff Teat was going to be like. When he arrived at Cornell, you knew he was a superstar.
And he's lived up to it. Baptiste wins the face-off, went right to goal, denied by Reardon.
Always singing his praises as what he could be as a pro. Brian Minikis, woof, in the Sours category for quickness.
And he had 2 earlier just like that Porter made the save. 51-50 in favor of Atlas, but it's Chaos who have the lead.
You listen to Dirk and it's passion. It's communication skills. It's intensity.
Rush! Rush!
He's a Hall of Famer. It's the skill, it's the quickness, it's the deception.
Nick, grab the pole! Shorty down low! Shorty down low!
Let's go down to Dana, who's with Max Adler.
Max, you're a savant.
To keep him on. Here's a strategy for the Chaos. Put Costabile, who knows how to face off against
force
Baptiste.
him back.
Force him back. Look
Yep.
at the shot clock. Started at 32 by the time. Running the O from the left wing.
And for the third time tonight, we're tied between Chaos and Atlas. These two teams like heavyweight fighters going punch for punch. It's only week 5. Still a lot of lacrosse left to this 2023 season, but you look at the schedule, you look at the standings. He's got so much space, so everybody thinks that's an easy finish. Is that harder than it looks?
Yes, yes. You're running down, diagonal pass, losing your angle.
He's long and rangy. It's hard to trap.
Support them the best I can.
Now there's been a big response defensively tonight. And they're limiting Chaos touches. Teat! Oh, he put it right there for Law. Couldn't finish it. Another piece of this Canadian flair.
They all have the nicknames, right? Smitters,
Burnsy,
Teeter. Like everyone, I think everything has an ER. Catches that ball. He knows the defense is vulnerable. So that's why he passes that ball the second he catches.
5th time we have been tied tonight. Back and forth we go. A chance to take the lead, and they do! Atlas with 2 goals in 8 seconds.
Caught the ball from Teat, boom, BTB. That time he just stands his ground, takes that extra second to fake out Blaze Reardon.
Baptiste, still time for one more.
Gotta go.
Law scored 2 goals in 8 seconds. This time, they can't get him. Trevor Baptiste picking up where he left off, his 14th face-off win of the night. 14 of 16, and that makes... Rowlett fighting Baptiste. Big hit absorbed by Baptiste, stays with Atlas. Blaze Reardon, by the way, gets credited on the assist for that outlet.
Player that you have to respect, that you can't go off of in a slide.
3 assists for Dane Smith, and when you look at that 5-for-5 number in the third quarter, how many of those 5 are coming off beautiful feeds?
Unbelievable.
It's lateral hinge direction, it's north-south explosion.
It's crazy. I think about it too. I'm like, tap this guy on the shoulder and tell him how quick he is, because no one can match the feed of Brian Minikis. What went through your mind when Smith...
Well, even though Atlas continue to win possession, they've really...
Which I think is really important to point out.
It just looks different too, Dana. Like
Yeah.
there's certain flow to players that it just looks different, right? I mean, it just...
Rexroad, the scoop and score. A broken...
Exaggerated ones. That little motion, the head of his stick and his shoulder got Newman to bite.
Match up. Easy, Nick.
Baptiste showing the strength, battles through Rowlett.
They were all one-on-one goals.
That's what I was about to say. No goals are created equal.
No.
Those ones are worth a lot more when you're going against JT Giles Harris. Baptiste, straight from the face-off, injecting life into Atlas, the reigning MVP. You see him pregame? Do you think he's an attackman?
I went out to a practice when he was in college. I was watching him do like this.
Mike Messenger, who we might ordinarily have him come out there without Connor Farrell playing, is also hurt. He's out of the lineup today, so he's going to have to chunk it up in the middle of the field. And like we expected, first face-off. Nick Grill taking the draw for Chrome, and that's just a matter of backing off and hoping to win the battle in the middle of the field.
Because of the Chrome, they lead the league in turnovers, and Coach Sudan was pretty unhappy with the turnovers above the arc because it gives the opposing team that juice in transition, and the Atlas capitalized on it there.
No doubt. And the other thing was the
aspect of their game strategically. They've made some tactical moves, which I really like. Now they just need to execute.
Baptiste taking a shot there, still with possession though. Now he loses it but gets it back. Atlas needed to get another man on the field. They do just that. Again, Nick Grill trying to do his best. Shot score! Quickly off the face-off. Check that, that was Eli Salama who took the draw. Didn't matter for Chrome as Atlas, exactly the point you just made. Now Troy Hedinger has taken a number of face-offs in his career, both in college and here in the PLL this year. Tried his luck to no luck.
Coach Monty was pretty unhappy with that last.
Curry is really fast.
Baptiste wins it back again. Here's the 32-second shot clock. Just about
go to the goal.
Yeah, just about synced up, Coach. With an assist too. Now that's Pressler Lacrosse right there. Assisted goals, right, Coach?
No question. That's a sign of a team that wants to win.
Good look from Baptiste that time. Camizio's going to get a shot. No, he tried to pass it off. Goal line extended. Scanoni.
Miss. Maybe try to score, but if you miss, whatever, and then substitute behind the play.
Hedinger on the field.
This is the situation where Trevor has been in trouble.
Do is make the playoffs, as we've seen these last couple of years. Chaos with a run after finishing at the bottom of the table. Last year, Waterdogs finished 5th, and they won the whole thing. Went on a big run in September, so you just got to make it, and then you can make something happen and peak at the right time. Tony's reaction, he thought he might have had it, didn't. Smith buries a two-pointer. That's a big goal, final minute of this first half. 5-3 score looks a lot different than 7-3 in this game. The way that man right there, number 9 in white, is winning draws. But not able to get anything going on that possession as Bernhardt picks up the loose ball.
8 saves. I mean, he didn't jump off the page in terms of, every single save we were kind of exclaiming, but made the saves he was supposed to. That's what's keeping Chrome in. For me, offensively, Chrome only won 6-on-6.
Resides in Dallas. Pretty cool to see the future stars of the PLL in the stands.
Yeah, it's really cool and great to see the growth of the game in cities like Dallas.
Keep talking to their guys.
Our percentage is better than Trevor Baptiste at the dot.
Technically speaking, I didn't talk to him, Coach T. I'm going to push back there. We just listened in, so I didn't interrupt them, their flow.
Distract them. You didn't do that.
Get up.
Great look. Costabile.
Those guys can be as valuable, sometimes more valuable than the on-ball guys.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of people evaluate defensemen with how many goals they score. And so...
winner in week 1 against the Whips. Young man out of Salisbury. Another win for Baptiste. Being harassed in the middle of the field.
They're offsides again.
Back in 2020 for Chrome. Was not playing this year, not planning on playing. Then he called Coach Sudan in December and said, Coach, my situation is such I can play this year.
Field to cross. So be on the lookout for that. I like it.
We'll be on the lookout for 22 in black. Got to get possession first, though, and number 9 in white's been denying him all day.
Other guys, if that makes any sense, like Teat, it just always seems like those things kind of go his way.
2 goals in 28 seconds. Now Hedinger steps to the star to take on Baptiste, and Baptiste wins it easily. Dana standing by with
last week. Now the context is they didn't face a face-off man on the other side. Sisselberger at 92%. Baptiste was 21 out of 22. Baptiste wins the initial face-off and a 32-second shot clock after a face-off win. Can the Archers, well, we know
downstairs.
Atlas 2 for 2 on face-offs. That's Richard. And now Teat, PLL
like they were in the prior years. And now you're like, okay, here's a present. Here's a 32-second shot clock you have to deal with on offense and defense.
Now this is the chance here. Baptiste wins the exit, feeds the wing. Smith calling for it. They find him. Smith for 2, turned away, and Baptiste comes back with it. It will reset the shot clock to 30.
Greatest winner, right, in pro lacrosse
No, I don't think
history.
it's maybe.
Yeah.
He's 7 championships. He is.
It's crazy, his leadership.
And Eashrop, Paul Carcaterra, Quint Keshnick, and soon-to-be Hall of Famer. Your time's coming, Kyle Harrison.
If they had something before first ballot, it'd be him.
Here's Camizio over to the wing. Double team. Gray lost it. It's picked up by Archers.
Around the draw without impacting the way these guys do their discipline. And the impetus comes from there are 2 players, only 2 in sports that can dictate possession, which is a fundamental rule that's built around fairness of teams. So when Trevor goes 8 out of 10, on average, it's difficult to beat Atlas until you shift the environment.
He was a freshman at Albany on the road. You know who he roomed with? Lyle Thompson. And you see a little bit of the wizardry with the stick.
You do. And you know what else you see? Balance. Some of the greats of all time that have played this sport at the attack position. Mikey Powell.
And Mike admitted being nervous and being geared mentally and physically for this game. And this is a game that he's been dreaming about for 5 to 10 years, quite honestly. Mike's an interesting cat. You know, I said, Mike, you shouldn't be nervous. This is easier than wrestling.
Think all offense.
I agree with you. Kobe Smith, good to see him back in the lineup. He can shoot the 2, so I don't mind him hovering top of the arc. But your other winger has got to be a more offensive-based guy. You see Logan now, 91.
On his radar.
That's why I brought it up. You said he's a big fan of the family dinners, right?
Yes, I've eaten meatballs. I've had chicken parm pasta with him and his dad, Armand Costa.
He's a West Sider here in Charm City. Went to Mount St. Joe, the Gales on the west side of town. Great high school football player. He knows the spots. He knows the spots in Little Italy, that's for sure.
The Italian kid, Marinara will find him.
His ability to get it off quickly, too, right? He got that in his stick, and the release was gone.
He earns the respect of the defense by being able to can the distance, the 2-shot. They end up overplaying him, and it was a wonderful hitch.
Quint, what's been your biggest takeaway with the face-offs?
Gavin Adler stings the top shelf. Hadouken by the rookie.
That is the biggest takeaway. You see, he gets a wonderful support from his teammates, but it feels got more on the line than the Archers.
And that's a big play by Adler, because with Kobe going down, that's typically what he's doing in transition. So to get that one, that's a big play.
Great point by you, but that's the flexibility of Adler. Not too many guys can play the wings that Quint mentioned, how good of a ground ball player he is, or play up top, because he defended midfielders.
Face-offs 13-8 in favor of Atlas. Now Baptiste wins this one. He's got to go backwards. He's swarmed, double teamed. Good defense here by Archers, so Baptiste has to work to get it across. Streaking toward the cage. Harris might have gotten a piece. No, they say
the wear and tear at that position right there between Sisselberger and Baptiste. Let's just lay out and listen to these guys grind it out. It's like a car accident.
It is. You could compare it.
So this is going to be an interesting matchup just to see how both these teams now go with the best face-off man in the world against a defender, a long pole defender, and as you would expect, first possession and first.
Quick, ballistically quick as any player in this league.
And here's Baptiste winning it forward. He can shoot. He does. Scores! He's an offensive weapon. He's the MVP, the reigning.
It's improved every single year of his career, and I know you spent a lot of time with him in the offseason saying, Trevor, you got to get to be a better lacrosse player. He's always been a talented draw man.
No question, and early in, even in this year, early in the year, this was the part right here where he had some trouble, but he's worked so hard on his. When I was with his parents for the first time as a freshman, I asked his mom and dad why he was so competitive, and his Trevor with another one.
I know. Boy, the Pioneers are showing up, Coach. They know you're up here in the booth. They want to impress you. They want to see, look, Coach, all the tools, everything you taught me when I was here at Denver, I'm making use of them at the
He was a really good indoor player, but didn't have a ton of looks, correct?
No, didn't have a ton of looks at all. In fact, John Orson and John was my assistant at the time, went to the last recruiting tournament that summer and found this guy that nobody had wanted to recruit him, but he saw Sowers sneak in the backside, as Eric Law used to do. Happens to be on the other squad today, though.
2 goals for Sowers, 2 assists for Walker to start this day for. Both Atlas goals scored by that man right there, the face-off man, number 9, Trevor Baptiste.
He's very vocal in their huddles. He's a co-offensive coordinator a lot of times, and he gets it. He sees the patterns. He knows the matchups. He's really
been from about 5 feet away. I mean, it's almost every single shot today.
Kincannon was good last week. What do you have, like 16 or 17 saves? Tends to give up some messy rebounds, but since being benched for a
battling with Goldbricht. This is what Waterdogs want, though. They want a battle.
Now the battle's on for the Atlas. What's their plan?
Found some hot dog soda for our stat guy, Rusta Lynn.
I liked Ian McKay's throwback uniform the best yesterday. He wore the socks up. Ward Melville, circa 1983.
The only thing,
Coach, you got to dig deep and find that motivation, I think.
It's got to be about the next one and being premier. He has been great.
Yes.
Going to cover Eric Law, you better have your eye on him.
And with this man at the face-off circle, anything can happen even with a few seconds left to go. It's PLLvote.com, so check that out. This is a great lacrosse city, great state, great lacrosse city. Look at the fans here. Look at the berm up there, Coach T. Hill. That's what we're going to call it here at Peter Barton Stadium.
The grassy knoll's been renamed Tierney Hill, where you got to pay $50 to sit up on that hill, and luckily it didn't rain.
That quarter, and that's not us. So I think if we can just get back to sharing it, and the more passes per possession, the better off we tend to be.
All right, thank you, Coach. Heading to the fourth.
Thank you, Coach.
Baptiste.
Right, thanks, guys.
Wins another face-off in this fourth quarter. 2-point advantage for the Dogs. Certainly Atlas have made a game of this, and Trevor Baptiste winning the face-off is a big part of it. From McCardle in a minute's time. Lead back up to 3. Force Baptiste to win it behind him. Now he gets possession, 32-second clock starts.
You're free at the end of this game, Coach, for a team photo down there with all your alums.
It sounds good, but I can tell you I can take no credit. This is all Matt Brown's work.
Oh, with the save.
And have those wrists.
That's like a patented move from Baptiste right there. Scoops it right up the turf. Looked for a shot. Didn't have it initially. Still looking now. Baptiste has won 22 of 26 from the stripe. Wins this one again with that same move.
Baptiste will match up with Ethan Rawl at the face-off stripe. The Cannons going with that strategy of not dressing a face-off man this week and hoping they can defend for 32 seconds, maybe force a turnover, and then get the... Charlene Beatties out of Georgetown, Ontario, as the first goal tonight. Baptiste wins the face-off. He wins it ahead. So Atlas setting up shop with 25 to shoot.
Right side, good.
Not that he needs the confidence boost, but I think you know what I'm saying here.
Yes. And last year struggled to shoot with the Redwoods. This is Miles Jones' second big-time trade he's been involved in the PLL. Remember, he was traded for Sergio Salcido after his first year in the league.
You got to stay out of the box.
Yeah, not a penalty Charlene Beatties needed to take before he went to break. Baptiste wins another face-off. No surprise there. Now 4 for 5.
They have more guys, and if it's going to be frenetic, that's when you need defensive depth, and Atlas only have 4 poles. But Trevor can counter all that by winning it in the
PLL.
Tweezer here, Jeff. Tweezer.
Going alone.
Referencing, if this becomes a track meet, that the Cannons are just set up from a roster standpoint to handle the pace better.
Last chance of the first quarter for Atlas. Here comes Baptiste, who scored the 3 goals last week. Leads Dixon. Now Teed. It's Cannon's ball. Out of bounds.
Atlas offensively.
Slow the game down.
Yeah.
Third tie already tonight, early in the second quarter. Another face-off win for Baptiste. Nice pass to Dixon. Catches it on the run. Oh, his man slipped and fell. Score in the first half that ended up with 4 goals in the second. It was a 16-15 loss for the Cannons in overtime against Redwoods in the longest game of the season. Charlie Bertrand scored the game winner with under 7 minutes on. Baptiste against Reese. Baptiste wins it. This matches, or is the largest lead for Atlas at 2.6-4. Brendan Curry too fast for his own good. Ran out of his cleats there.
Turf monster got him.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Great to have a mic on Trevor Baptiste as he wins another faceoff. Now tied Brendan Mundorf for 3rd all time. You mentioned what he did last week, RB. He was scoreless in the first half against Redwoods. He came out and scored 4 goals in the second. Tonight,
Great to kind of set himself up for that re-attack.
You know, Ryan, they're only 6th in the PLL in settled offensive efficiency. About 25% is where they're operating. But they just have guys where you feel like they're close to having.
Check with statistician Rustin Lynn. It's a generous assist today.
What are you talking about? I have no idea. Here's Xander Dixon. Mentioned earlier this year, there was a time when the Cannons were 7 for 5 on the power play because of 2 two-point goals from Chris Eslani.
Here we go.
Their recent contests.
5 straight for Cannons. This is their largest lead, up by 3.
Right.
Eyes up, always ready to feed. Exploits that breakdown.
Man, Rapphorse has got to be thinking, I know I can't lose that guy. I was his teammate. T with those 2 assists tonight, up to 22 for the season, tops in the PLL. Panther City Lacrosse. He was also the #1 pick in last year's draft. Kaylee's got more on Donville.
Well, you guys are right on the money. The name of the game from the Cannons coaching staff has been patience, patience.
He started with it. He gets the assist. That's his first point as a Bull.
Underrated feeder, Malloy.
Baptiste, who won the race? Atlas.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. The ball.
And Costabile playing on the wing as Baptiste wins it cleanly. They actually had Xander Dixon on the defensive side of the field. And now here comes Dixon, number 10 in white. Now a 1-goal game. Baptiste, Dixon again. Cursed kicks it aside.
It would then lead obviously to a tie as opposed to an Atlas lead.
So you saw Dixon at the top of your screen come screaming across midfield in this ballgame. Baptiste wins another draw.
If I'm Gray, I'm going right at the same matchup.
Here it is. He goes the other way this time.
Statistically, in the PLL, both played for Team USA as well. So you can argue maybe the best 2 face-off guys in the world now that Joe Nardella's hurt as well.
Possession, though, goes to the Atlas.
The emergence of Cole Kurse, because in the beginning of the season, he was kind of in and out of the lineup. They were figuring out, what type of player is he? He has delivered a punch down the stretch for this team.
Baptiste can shoot. Number 9 in white. He is not for a little extra work. And I remember watching it, Clark, and thinking, these are the best players in the world. and they still need and want and use that extra work after practice, one-on-one stuff.
Yeah, you want to visualize, and you look at a guy, and when you watch him, don't be surprised if Nat St. Laurent puts him on a wing on faceoffs. He's unbelievable on ground balls as well.
That Baptiste win breaks a string of 3 straight wins by T.D. Irwin at the faceoff stripe.
RK
We're getting a good battle there.
Coming back, playing D, and we've been doing a really good job on that.
Thank you, Ed.
Yeah, thank you, Eddie. Eddie Glazer.
Me.
California kid, went to Notre Dame. One of those guys, too, is Cole Kirst. This Redwoods team has a lot of two-way middies, guys that are going to stay on the field on both ends. Nakai certainly was one of them. Cole Kirst is another one. And that pays dividends.
Yeah, and getting safety help when you don't need it. Like, let me do my thing.
Mm-hmm. Trevor wins it.
No, Trevor.
Tells players like Costabile to go to the net, which he does here. Can't get a shot off, though, as he gets knocked off his feet. Kelly comes out. Timing couldn't have been better. 9-3 in the waning seconds of this first half. Atlas absolutely.
Yeah, Chris, when you talk about taking a hit to make a play, look no further than right there, Eric Law. That can give your team a lot of momentum. Only time will tell, but a big boost for this Atlas group that needs it.
I also like the being very, cordial with the officials. I mean, he learned from the best, Coach Corrigan at Notre Dame.
Throws him off there, Cotter.
He just put his head down and was not going to be denied.
Brett Makar always makes you feel him. And Cole Kirst going after Danny with his head up, too. It's not like he's just looking to go to the rack. Spot feeds Wes Berg.
Bergie with another hat trick as well. Jack Concannon didn't go on the far side for Atlas. Underway as expected. Baptiste wins the faceoff. Don't be surprised if he wins every single faceoff in this game. The key is Rexroad will take the draw, if you want to call that, for Cannons. Check that. That's Pulver, rather. Pulver takes it for Cannons, and then it's really just a matter of letting Baptiste have it, but harassing him enough in the middle of the field to where it delays Atlas. In the first game of our triple header today, we saw the Redwoods in West Berg, and the ball does not stay in his stick very often. Same thing could be said for Xander Dixon, man. He has got quick hands. When the ball hits his cross, he gets it out in a hurry. Then Logan fires a shot.
Threat to score off the dodge, and he recognizes they're not going to slide to him. He's going to make them pay.
Cannon's 3 for 3 shooting in the early going here tonight. Bad turnover. Kavanaugh picks it up. Head on a swivel. Not a fan of his black shoes with white socks, though. We talked about that quite often this year.
You got to match. Look good, play good.
I don't know. He looks good scoring goals. I think that's what he's worried about. What do you think, Charlotte? Black shoes, white socks?
I'm all in favor of the all-white, but...
And off to a great start here today. Up 4-2. Baptiste wins the draw. He's won all 7 he's taken.
Defender and make that perfect feed to Kavanaugh cutting down the middle.
Watch your back, Trev.
Great discipline.
But ultimately, if anybody's got some old game footage, I'm finding it hard to convince my kids that I one time played at this level.
The last question I have for you, I can't let you go without this.
Yep.
Did Coach Pressler give you an alumni discount when you bought his house?
No, I would tell you it was a fairly easy process. The only hiccup was when we went through the inspection at the end, the only issue that came up was unidentifiable animal blood in the basement. So if you know Coach P, it's not surprising at all.
Well, you must be good luck because they just scored.
6 seconds after the goal was disallowed, Eric Law makes matters right. 5-4.
Here we go, Tweezer.
Baptiste wins another faceoff. Costabile inside. Kirst makes the save.
To look for where that play is.
I've been saying it all season long. The Cannons, they don't have a video game type player, but they have players that need each other. And you look at Matt Kavanaugh, second goal tonight for him. He's playing loose. Coach Holman had a conversation with him and said, you don't have to carry the team. You just have to play hard, get the ground balls, do the intangibles.
Opens up the passing lane on the backside for Gray and for other finishers like Law.
Cannons now 8-5.
And that two-pointer, that's a staple of this Cannons offense. 13 in the regular season. That was second in the league.
Dana standing by with Pat.
Pat, did you learn that from your brother?
I taught him everything he knows.
This is the culture he's built.
Are you surprised Atlas didn't call timeout there?
A little bit. I think, they need to slow the pace down. They need to control what they can control. They need to be patient, but they need to set something up on offense that's a little more organized than what they've had.
Costa,
he's if I could just strip it down and everything, he's a really good ball stopper. So I think that's the number one quality, and he's consistent, which in this league is vital. So
you've got 10 goals so far, 8 different Curse dunking that before he gets in the crease.
I love how much Miles Jones is initiating the offense tonight. He's being aggressive, and he knew he had Concannon off his mark, but he waited. He increased his ankle. He went upfield. He threw a hitch, and then he buried it in a high percentage place on the field.
Hartzell giving Baptiste all kinds of trouble. That's going to be a pass from Xander Dixon.
Donville's first left-handed goal.
Well, it's all working for Cannons right now.
These turnovers, they're starting.
He's got 4 on the day.
Par for the course.
Yeah.
Final minute. Coach Prester wants to talk things over.
Great pass under the stick of Teat right on the doorstep.
Baptiste, desperation shot. Little hold your breath moment that time for that man right there, Coach Holman, on the offensive end for Atlas. We start the second half. Baptiste wins the draw to start this half.
Ability. Yes, he's got less turnovers, but you have to credit that to Brian Holman and the staff for creating a structure for him to be successful in.
He's the PLL's first 2020 guy, and he's got a goal now to go with 3 assists on the night.
Where are the outlets for Atlas to bail out Baptiste here? Like, everyone's just jogging. Like, you have to sprint to get open.
Now Law gets it with 14. Huge benefactor of this new offense in Jim Mitchell that he brought with Coach Holman to the Cannons. I mean, he and Nolting both, their games have taken a huge leap forward this year. Baptiste is in all kinds of trouble. Big scrum for the loose ball in front of the crease. We'll get a couple of games with injury. Kavanaugh with the hat trick today. Baptiste wins it again to himself. Takes a shot and scores!
Atlas needed this one, Charlotte. They were starting to get into danger zone. They scored 2 to close out the half to cut it to 4.
Made his first career start earlier this year. Now Baptiste. Now Costa.
Last word for the last decade, right?
Yes.
You think about his dedication professionally to just helping the sport grow. It's one thing to do it for
Atlas
a year.
got him out a furious comeback here in the fourth quarter. This is the man to help him do it, Trevor Baptiste. He's won 27 of the 28 faceoffs he's taken today. And he scored a goal and almost had another one.
That last score, and he said, I want you to have lead by 3 with 5 minutes left to play. So I think they're responding quite well out of the timeout.
Trevor, he'll shoot. Wide, Law is there to back it up. Atlas want to move quickly.
Cannon's bench.
Stays in his pocket. Baptiste, what a battler. Defenders hanging all over. This year, they've been totally sorted out, and he's been a big part of it.
Well, I think a big part of that is Coach Holman making a commitment to the midfielders who you pointed out, like we're in and out of the lineup. Those 4 offensive midfielders, Campbell, Drenner, Don.
There. How do you connect and gel chemistry-wise with them on the offensive end?
I just think it's versatility too, right? Like every one of those guys does something a little bit different, and you know they've just been really clicking tonight, dodging hard and finishing their shots when they need to.
Good job tonight, Marcus.
Thank you.
And Nolting makes them pay.
20 points on the night, most in franchise history as far as the PLL is concerned for the Cannons. If this were a Bruin game, everybody would have lost their hats a long time ago. There wouldn't be a single hat left in the stands because we got hat tricks littering the field here for the Cannons tonight. Cannons 2 minutes and 40 seconds away from stamping their spot in next week's semifinal. Waterdogs await, the defending champs. Miles Jones up top. He'll shoot a two-pointer.